I'm here in Maddox Street in the heart of London's Mayfair with Sovereign Rarities, one of the leading dealers in coins over here in London. And we're going to go through and show you guys some of the most spectacular coins you will see this year, which are all featured in the September the 21st auction number 4 at Sovereign Rarities. Quick reminder about the coin connection before we start. The promo code for 2% discount on everything coin connection is Crikey, and that's for all of September. So here we are in the heart of London at Sovereign Rarities. The auction is on the 21st of September this year, so now is a good time to visit the Sovereign Rarities website. Link is below. Pre-register for the auction, get all the formalities out the way, and then take a look through some of those amazing coins in case there's anything that you would like to bid on. Today I'm going to show you two ranges of coins. There's going to be some coins for the modern coin collector, because Sovereign Rarities have built an enviable reputation as being one of the main modern coin sellers or dealers in London. And then I'm going to show you some older coins as well, with the help of chief numismatist and famous author Steve Hill, who wrote the Sovereign book. So first of all is this 5-ounce gold coin that I picked up from the auction. I thought it was really attractive. I absolutely love it. It's a unique pattern for this particular coin. 2015. This was the first time that the Butler portrait, the new Butler portrait that's used on the 2016 Sovereign, was used, and it's got a really great rendition of all the different heads of Queen Elizabeth from 1953 up to date to celebrate the longest reigning monarch. Coin that I really like, and I think it'll do pretty well over at the auction. Another one still on the topic of royalty. This one is the 2012 Special Diamond Jubilee £5 gold piece. Another one that has a special portrait of Her Majesty to celebrate just that particular anniversary. They're shown in her robes of state. Really nice coin, and there's a lot of collectors who look for these special modern coins that have something particularly distinguished and distinctive about them. Still on the royal theme, this is a fabulous coin, very low mintage. You see very few of these around now. This was a coin that was the centerpiece of the annual year set and was only available inside that year set. I think it was around about 125 pieces minted, but it's a pretty hard to find coin, and I haven't seen one of those around for a while. But all of these coins are going to be on sale in the Sovereign Rarities auction number 4. This one is the Benjamin Britten famous 50p piece, famous because the mintage is fabulously low, and it's a coin that is likely to set the buyers totally insane with buying frenzy when the auction comes up. The next coin I want to show you is one that you probably will never ever get a chance to see in person. It is a wonderful dinner plate of a gold coin. This is the 2 kilogram 3 Graces design in gold from the Royal Mint, and it's been slabbed here in an NGC mega. It's a mega holder, so they reserve these holders for the biggest and most prestigious coins. I've never actually handled one of these mega holders before. I've seen pictures of them for some big Chinese coins, but I must say this particular coin looks absolutely wonderful in gold in this size. You can imagine this is going to be a very highly sought after item. I mean, it really is just absolutely amazing, and it's certainly a coin and a bit. Legal tender for £2,000. Of course, its value in gold is massive multiples of that, more than £2,000. And it's a great privilege to just be able to handle this coin very, very carefully. Trying not to leave too many fingerprints on the holder, but I'm sure it'll get a good polish before it goes into the auction finally. So that's the 2 kilo gold 3 graces. Let's take a look now at some of the older coins in the sale with Steve Hill.
Hello, and thanks for the opportunity to give you a lowdown on the Sovereign Rarities Auction 4 taking place on Tuesday the 21st September in London at the West End office of Sovereign Rarities. First of all, we're looking at here is lot 241 from the auction, which is a William III Patton crown, struck to proof quality, very unusual early proof of the mill period, with a lovely bust there, the first type bust of William III. And it's a beautiful rendition of him. The reverse side is a different design to the regular coins. The shield's slightly different. The Lion of Nassau in the centre of the coin has got different kind of arrangement of billets behind it. It dates from 1695, the very first year for the crown of William III, and it's a very rare coin indeed. It's a plain edge proof striking of it, and it's a very rare coin indeed. Hardly ever see them. Moving on now, we go on to lot 247 here, which is the large head pattern of George III by Benedito Pestrucci. A very rare coin indeed. This design was obviously not adopted for currency, the currency coin being a much smaller head for George III. It's signed Pestrucci under the bust. It dates from 1818, which you can see just as well below the bust. There's the date there, and it's a wonderful looking coin, lovely bold rendition of George III, but obviously was not adopted in the end, and the smaller design went forward. But the reverse is very similar indeed to what was adopted for currency, again by Pestrucci and signed under the Exerg line there. And it's a wonderful rendition of St George and the Dragon, which of course was used on the gold sovereigns as well. Looking at lot 233 now, this is our front cover coin of Sovereign Rarities Auction number 4 of the 21st September. This is an amazingly rare piece of master engraving, a real piece of artistry by Nicolas Briot, who was the French engraver for Charles I. He'd been invited over from France, and he was using machine-made technology to make these coins. And this is a Patton Unite. They did strike them in gold as well. This is a silver version. They're extremely rare. I'm only aware of one gold one in private hands and 2 silvers. There may be a few more in museums, but it's actually dated as well. It's dated 1630 on the reverse there at the top. And interestingly, the initial mark, the mark that he's used there, just to the right of the date, is St George and the Dragon, which may appeal to sovereign collectors. He's got a little St George and Dragon there. And it's signed to the left of the date with a B for Briot, Nicolas Briot, a master engraver and one of the best engravers we've ever had in this country. Superbly rare piece. Now we move on to the lovely Cromwell Broad, lot 236 in the auction, which is a very nice engraving of Oliver Cromwell by Thomas Simon, of course, who again was a wonderful engraver. He worked under the Commonwealth period principally, but he did carry on into the reign of Charles II for a while. And this is his masterwork, the portrait of the Lord Protector, as he were, Oliver Cromwell, with a wonderful skin texture. I always find with these coins, you get this sort of dimpling effect to the neck and the face there, and it gives it some real sort of relief to the coin with that, and a lovely facial portrait too. The reverse, you got the shield of arms for the Protectorate, as it was called at that time. He had become Lord Protector in 1653. This was an early machine-made coin when they were still making hammered coins. It dates to 1656. They only did half crowns and gold broads in that year, as well as a very rare gold 50 shillings, which is basically a PA4 of a broad with a lettered edge. This is the 20 shilling piece, the gold broad, and it's in superb condition, and I'm sure it will sell very well on the day. Going back in time a little bit here, this is lot 231, which is an example of one of the hammered coins that comes from this old collection that we have in the auction. The collection is not in slabs because the collector was not a fan of it and always liked to keep his coins raw. This is actually one of the earliest hammered crowns of King Edward VI, the boy king. It's actually the second year. The very first year was 1551. This is the much rarer 1552. The date is there under the horseman. Of course, at that time, Roman numerals were what were used mainly for sort of dating coins. Some of the earlier Edward VI coins, the shillings, are used with Roman numeral dates. But 1551 was the very first time the more familiar dating system was used that we use today, with our sort of date figures. And 1552 is the second year, and it's quite a scarce date. 1553 is the rarest date. But 1552 is a very rare date too, 1551 being the most common. The boy king, of course, King Edward VI, son of Henry VIII, did not survive to be an adult, unfortunately, dying in 1553 when Mary Tudor came to the throne. But it's a wonderful rendition of the king on horseback. The horse has got lovely decoration upon it. And he's galloping there to the right with his sword and his armour, so to show the power that he possesses as king, but issued only the year before he died. Wonderful piece. Hello, right, we're looking at lots from the auction again, the William IV gold sovereigns, and we're going to just go over briefly what the differences are between the first bust and the second bust of William IV. Now, first of all, we've got this slabbed example here of the 1831 sovereign with the first bust. Now, the first bust of William IV, the nose clearly points, the tip of it points to the second N in Britannia. The word Britannia there, the nose is above the level of the letter I after the N, and it's actually more in line with the right side of the letter N there. There is actually a difference in the ear, the interior of the ear as well is another way of sort of helping to tell these things. There are other subtle differences in the hairstyle as well, in the hair, the way it's depicted too, but it's basically where the nose points to, and also you'll find the interior of the ear, the shape of it around the outline of the outside of it is different to when you look at it compared to a second bust. And we have a second bust example right here as lot 197 in the auction of the 1832 sovereign. And now you'll find the nose is actually pointing directly towards the letter I, Britannia, the second I in Britannia. So it's on level with the bottom of that letter I. It's nowhere pointing up. There's no way pointing up towards the letter N's above. You see, it's just in line with the letter I on the horizontal plane. And if you look inside that ear again, you'll see it's a much squarer profile. The outline of the ear is a much squarer. The interior of the ear is the best part to look at, really. So the interiors of the ear actually differ between the two pieces and where the nose points to. As I say, there is some very subtle differences in the hair as well, but that's not so noticeable, especially in the video. But the interior of the ear does differ, and it's where the nose points to. That's the main differences. And just to finish off this video, lot 249 is the Victoria Gothic crown with the plain edge, which is a masterwork by Victorian engraver William Wyan. It's a fantastic Gothic rendition, very much an in thing in Victorian times, Gothic revival of medieval times, and lovely brocade dress she's wearing, emblematic of course with thistles and shamrocks upon it and roses, lovely crown with the ponytail there either side, and a beautiful reverse with the cruciform shields, emblematic cruciform shields, and the emblems in the angles in between, and lots of treasures and things like that, just sort of reminiscent of sort of the time of Edward III and the nobles perhaps, with the reverses of those. Dated in Roman numerals, of course, 1847. Of the lettered edge version, there are about 8,000 struck. The plain edge version is much rarer. No one knows how many were struck of those. Sometimes they come in sterling silver, sometimes they come in pure silver. You need to be able to do a specific gravity test to tell the difference, really. But a masterwork by William Wyan in all its glory, and one of the most classic designs of the milled series.
Thanks very much, Steve. That was an amazing background about some of these unique and interesting coins. I hope I'll be lucky enough to be successful with even one bid. But there's a coin here that I wanted to pick out and talk about because this is such an interesting coin. It's an 1825 sovereign, but it's a proof. It's actually a proof of record that was minted just before the proof sovereign in the 1826 mint set. And this one is really nice. These coins exist in 4 varieties. They exist in 8 heart semi, and I'll show you that in a minute, 7 heart semi, and also grailed edge and plain edge. This is one of the ones with a grailed edge and an 8 heart semi. And if you take a look in the shield, and you can see the little hearts right in the middle of the shield, you can see that just above the little jug there's a heart popping out there on the right hand side, and that is the 8th heart. If it's missing, then it's a Patton coin, and if it's present, then it's a proof of record coin. But only a handful of each type of coin are known, and this is really a very, very interesting coin, and really, really rare as well. So that's one of my favourites, and I want to show you some larger coins, probably more expensive coins, well, definitely more expensive coins, but coins which, if you're a collector, will be some of your grail kind of coins. This particular coin is a 5 sovereign proof coin from the 1826 mint set, proof set of that year. And it's unusual because it's in really amazing condition. Very, very high grade, a 63 grade, but it's a 63 grade in an old NGC slab before they even started to denote things like cameo and ultra cameo on their slabs. The shield pattern is amazing, by Merlin, who designed some of the most fabulous shields and particular favourites on the 1826 and the 1831 proofs. So really, really like that coin. This one is a 1670 5 guinea gold piece. Steve did tell me this was the highest graded coin of its type. It's a pretty rare example, highest graded at NGC. So you may want to check that out. But it's got an AU58, and it's really, really nice, particularly the shield side of it. It's got that kind of old gold patina, which is just so attractive. It's like, it's a very, very old coin, been there for millennia, lovely portrait, loads and loads of detail. It isn't a perfect mint state coin, but I think this one is going to be in really, really high demand at the auction. A lot of you guys have seen the modern versions of the Three Graces and Gothic patterns and George celebrations of the East India Company. Well, this one is the real deal. This is a coin that is actually an East India Company 5 guinea gold piece designed for high-level, wealthy trading. And this one is pretty unusual. There are quite a few of these around, but in much lower grade. So this one is both a rare coin and a rare grade, and it makes it, a pretty exceptional coin. And I think the guide price on this coin, the estimate is about £50,000 or £60,000, but I suspect this might go for quite a bit more than that at the auction. If I had a whole load of cash to splurge on a coin, that would probably be one of my choices, I think, for the auction. This next one, I just wanted to show you this one because you don't very often see an 1834 proof crown. So there are a few around. There are some. I've seen a number in recent years, but it's one of those years that was a proof of record year. So there was no 1834 proof set. So a bit like that 1825 proof or the other 1834 proofs, these are proofs that weren't really designed to be sold generally to people as proofs. So there are very few of these coins around. And, these 1834 proofs change hands from, I guess, 50 up to £150,000 for the top examples. So that's going to be definitely one to watch at the auction. So I hope you've enjoyed this wander through some of the stonking great coins that are going to be sold on the 21st of September at the Sovereign Rarities Auction. If you'd like to stand a chance of winning or buying one of these coins, please go to the Sovereign Rarities website and register your interest, sign up, get accredited, and be there ready to bid online. Or if you want, you're welcome to come to the Maddox Street offices time of the auction. You need to book a place in advance because of COVID, but book a place and come and participate in the auction yourself.